And we are back once again at IK Studios in the Walker Review. Have another guest, Miss DJ Koko Brown. How you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Trying to see what makes you superior.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you actually came into the studio because I've been seeing your movement, seeing a lot of things that you do. And I actually want to let my guests know who you are and also talk about a lot of things that you're getting into. Okay? So first thing I want to ask, like, for starters, where are you from? How did you actually get the name DJ Koko Brown?
Well, I'm from Dallas, born and raised, and I got the name DJ Koko Brown from actually one of my good friends, Dirt Beats. He actually gave me the name because when I told him I wanted to get into DJing, he was like, "You need a name," and I was just gonna use my regular name. I was just gonna use Denise. And
I'm trying to think of some DJ named Denise. What could came of that? We know. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Right.
Keep
and
going.
then he was like, "No, I'm gonna think about it." And so he actually gave me the name DJ Koko Brown. And then I spell it Koko, and I can't take credit for that either. DJ ASAP actually changed it to Koko.
Okay. Shout out to DJ ASAP. But I mean, how did the passion of DJ actually grow? Because I mean, I know it has a backstory. Like, what is your background in music?
Okay, so I mean, I always love music, but to be completely honest, this is one of the things where I say it's a God thing.
Okay.
Because I didn't know what a DJ did prior. After I came out of school, I'm a lover of entertainment. My ultimate goal is to be an actress. But, I look at, what are the odds of me just going to Hollywood right now and just making it? Not saying that I couldn't, but, let me be realistic with myself. Let me look at the opportunities I have around me. And I was around a radio station. And so, actually, that's when I first seen a DJ. And I was like, wow, I was introduced to female DJs.
What radio station?
It was Dirty Angels.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's when I was introduced to female DJs. That this was a thing, and I realized how much of a open market it was.
Understandable.
So I was like, I thought about it for a good 3 months. I was really thinking about it, and I was like, I can keep thinking about it, or I can try it. Who knows? Maybe I'll be good, maybe I won't, but I'll try it. And, I can scratch that off the list and keep moving.
Right.
So that's really, how it came about. It was something that I just couldn't shake. Like after seeing it, after realizing how DJs move, and how they can network, how much easier it is for them. And me thinking about my ultimate goal is like, this is a perfect way for me to meet people where I don't have to go to California and, be struggling to meet people. And I can still be working. I'm still building a brand for myself. Yeah,
that's a market a lot of people try to tackle, going to those big markets like LA and sometimes even Atlanta or New York to kind of set themselves up. But you got situated right here. Take us back to your first show, DJ. How did you feel?
I was nervous. I was scared out of my mind.
Out of my mind.
Out of my mind. Because I had only had my equipment 2 weeks. And this is kind of, everything happens for a reason.
For sure.
So after I told someone, yeah, I'm getting into DJing. He was like, so you have your equipment? I was like, yeah. So he was like, you can DJ? And I was like, no. But he was like, but you have your equipment? And I was like, yes. And he was like, well, I have a gig for you. And I was like, I tried not to do it, but a lot of people were encouraging me to do it.
Got you.
So I had my board 2 weeks. The first person I called was actually DJ Swerver because we kind of grew up together. So I was like, I need to know at least how to press the buttons, how to get this started. Let me figure, how to figure this out. And so he had actually helped me get through that first gig, but I was still scared out of my mind. That was something completely out of my element. I'm expected to entertain all these people. So
I got you. And hey, you're still here doing it, so it seems like you stayed true to what you were trying to do, and you just continue to build that confidence along the way. But along with that, I remember the first time I met you, you weren't even behind a pair of turntables. You were actually selling merchandise. Superior Forever Royale. How did that come about? One, I want to talk about the name. How did you come up with the name for the brand itself?
Well, whatever I knew whatever I did, it had to have meaning. And personally, I felt as if, I'm just going to be honest.
Be honest. This is a very honest show.
I'm just going to be honest.
A lot of genuine people are watching.
I know.
Be honest.
Okay, so I feel like us, we're not told that we are superior.
Understood.
We're not told that, we are kings and queens.
And we come from a long history of
right,
that.
But you can't tell me that I'm not a queen. And, I was just searching up words, trying to, figure out what fit best. And, when I seen superior, like, it stood out to me. And, the way I put my twist on it is manifesting your own destiny. No one's in control of your life but you.
For sure.
And so therefore I am superior. I have full control over my life. I have full control over the things that I can manifest. And then the Forever Royal was just, the queen part, the royalty part. Just a little touch to it.
Because I said I was going to read it on the show. Because I read your mission statement on your site, and I was like, bro, this seems kind of dope. And I wanted to read it just so the audience would know. If you guys haven't been to the site, you need to go check it out. But it is our mission to provide an exclusive lifestyle and bring awareness to the understanding that being superior comes from within oneself. Our brand provides you with a classic style inspired by everyday life, and we give you a bold representation of what it means to manifest your being every day of your life, encouraging the ambitious and the conquering to get everything that you are destined for. Not everyone can be superior. Royalty is planted into one at birth. That's what I like the most. Royalty is planted into one at birth. However, it is up to you to enhance what's already been destined. That's what makes you superior. I was like, okay. Okay.
Thank you.
I see she making these moves. But as an entrepreneur, there are a lot of beginning struggles. There's a lot of things that you have to endure. Because I've always said, being an entrepreneur, you have to be self-motivated. Because you can't expect somebody to inspire you to get up. You have to inspire yourself sometimes. What were some beginning struggles that you went through, and what were some ways that you kind of counteracted that and grew from the things that you struggled from?
The beginning struggles was, me really not knowing what I was doing. And, compared to being in school where you're kind of given a syllabus, you're giving, direction where to go.
For sure.
I didn't have any direction. I also, I didn't know anyone who started a clothing line. So that whole learning phase, that whole trial and error stage, but also believing in myself. It took, I came up with the idea, I want to say around about 2014. But I didn't officially decide to put it to work until 2016.
Okay.
And I just really had a feeling like, I'm tired of waiting. I have this idea. I have to get it out there. And literally it's taking it step by step. Gotcha. You have an idea, you have to break it down because it's not going to just come to you. So it's being aware, of your process, like you're going to bump your head. Everything's not going to go your way at all. You're going to lose money. You're going to, have sleepless nights. But, following your passion is really what it's about. Because that's just one of the things, like, no one taught me. Right. I just really had to decide, okay, what is it that I'm trying to do? Then do the research on each step, like make sure that I'm strategic in everything I do. I'm super critical about anything that I put out. So a lot of times I probably put way more pressure on myself. But I think, my advice to people is just to go for it. Seriously. Because you're never going to know it all. Like, there's going to be, things I went through, the next person might not have to go through that.
Exactly.
But, you have to be, for one, open-minded. You have to, get out there and talk to people, network with people, and, just believe in yourself. If you really, feel passionate about what you're doing, if you can, my thing is, if you can see it, you can have it, you can achieve it. Definitely. It's just as simple as that. But you got to put the work in for it.
And I definitely agree with that because we touched on it, saying it a couple times, passion. You'll definitely see people move on what they're passionate on. You see a lot of people that have likes, they have supposed interest in things like that, but those sometimes don't create the actions that you need to possess. But when there's an actual passion, you'll see people go above and beyond what it takes to accomplish that. So I definitely agree with you on that. Just simply being an entrepreneur and a DJ. I mean, DJing is an entrepreneurship as itself. How do you are able to maintain that balance? Because life is hard. Simply in this world, like how do you able to create that balance?
So I don't have the full balance.
Okay.
I definitely did try. I started DJing first before I actually put my clothes into movement. Mm-hmm. But it was when I started DJing that I realized this is the perfect time, because here I am being placed in front of so many people. Mm-hmm. It only makes sense for me to wear my brand.
Gotcha.
And that was really rough, you know, trying to teach yourself how to DJ and run a business at the same time.
I can imagine. Literally.
And I'm used to doing a lot of different things. So I thought, you know, like, people kept telling me you need to put your focus on one thing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, nah, I got this. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm used to being busy. I'm used to having my hands in a lot of different things. But it's not until now that I truly realized that you do have to put your focus into, you know, one thing, because I can't give 100% to both. Yeah. A lot of times, a lot of people are asking me, you know, like, why aren't you DJing? Why aren't you, you know, out there? Where's your residency? And, you know, I had to make the decision for, you know, the betterment of the whole situation to, I am going to have to put my 100% into one.
Gotcha.
So I look at DJing as, you know, there's always going to be a demand for it.
Exactly.
So as long as, you know, I'm working on it, you know, here and there, I can always go back to that. Mm-hmm. But my business is something that, you know, that's going to take me a long way. This is how I plan to, you know, feed my family and the generations to come. Gotcha. So I'd rather put 100% into this, and I can always, you know, DJ, once I get the business, you know, moving, we get on my flow.
And get it situated.
Right, because I'm just going into year 2 in October.
Gotcha.
So I haven't been doing it, you know, for a long amount of time, but I've been blessed to, you know, make so many, you know, improvements on it. Exactly. But there's still, like, this whole year, I've just been truly, you know, following my gut.
I understand.
I've been really, like, trying to build the foundation of my business, because if you have a strong foundation, you know, it's easier for you to build up. I don't want to, you know, maybe get this one big hit and, you know, everyone's on my brand, but I have no idea how my business runs. Exactly. I don't know the flow of things. I don't have a system. I don't have, you know, the people that I go to directly. I don't have that rapport. Like, there's just so much into business that's more than what you see on Instagram. And it's most important that I understand that.
Yes, definitely.
And then I'll be able to delegate, and then I'll be able to do more with my time as far as, you know, get back into, you know, DJing more often.
I understand. And I definitely agree with that, because I can vouch for you on that, because I once as well was spreading my time between 3 different things, and I was trying to make all of them pop. And it seems like, and just understanding, if you're spreading yourself thin between all 3 of those things, you're never going to be able to give 100%. And if you're not giving 100% into something that you truly love to do, or at least truly into, then they're always going to somewhat fall or falter in that form. But I definitely agree with you on that. But we're here. I got my band. I got my button. I feel like I'm in a real presidential campaign. What makes you superior? Let's talk about how that campaign came about and the mindset you had starting that campaign.
So it came about just with me trying to build awareness for my brand, truly get the meaning out there without me just having to say it.
Gotcha.
You know, because I can easily say it, but how receptive will it be?
I understand.
So I came up with the idea last year, and I didn't know exactly where I wanted to go with it. And then it wasn't until this year, when my best friend was graduating valedictorian from NYU, and with her master's,
that's a big accomplishment.
It is, and I was mind blown, because it's just like, wow, like, I had goals of being valedictorian when I went into school, and I didn't make it. So that lets me know how much hard work she put in. Right. That let me know that, you know, everything that I'm preaching about, or, you know, that I'm trying to explain, she's actually doing it. So it only made sense for me to make her the first face, and then from then on, it's like everything just became clear of how I really wanted to, you know, help get my brand out there, and it can't just be about me. So it's me going to other people who I do find superior, saying, you know, I have to admire you first, for one. There has to be something about you, because, you know, like I said, not everyone can be superior.
Exactly.
A lot of people do, you know, a lot of things for show, but, you know, I look at the people who you can tell they're in it for the long haul. Because being superior, like, you have to go through internal things. It's not just what people see. It's a whole mindset. It's what you do when no one's looking. And, you know, that shows once, you know, you display it. Like, me growing continuously, especially this past year, I've been able to really see that and focus in on, you know, I can just like kind of like point it out.
Gotcha.
Like I know that took hard work. I know that just didn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
I admire that about people.
I do.
I definitely agree with that.
I really
when I see people actually grinding and a very motivation, because it's hard to continue to keep things going and keep your personal life in check. It's hard. But I vouch for people who have those sleepless nights or those long nights or those early mornings, because they're actually pushing and working hard for something, that for a vision that they actually see. Because it's crazy, a lot of people don't see your vision. They just see the outcome or the product that you put out there.
Right.
But they never see the actual vision that was produced, either from a dream or just a conversation you had with a peer, or even a conversation you had with yourself that just took and manifested into something that was physical. So I definitely get you on that side. So it's a lot that goes into it, but you also linked with my good friend Marcus Gilmore. How was it on that when he actually held the interview for your best friend?
It was super dope, and it's funny because I actually had him in mind for when I originally came up with the idea, and then he moved to New York, and I was like, dang, because I didn't know.
Birds with one stone.
But see, when I didn't know him when he moved to New York, I just knew of him, and I was like, dang, now how am I gonna do it?
Gotcha.
But then when this opportunity came, and it was like, I'm going to New York, and it's like Marcus is in New York, like it just everything came
There's
together.
too many light bulbs going up.
It was, and it's just like that's another person who I admire what he does. For his National Go Riding Day, I love that.
Seriously.
I would participate every time, and this year I did, and it was trusting my gut. And it's like I couldn't imagine, I couldn't have told you everything I was gonna do this year.
Exactly.
But I made the promise to myself that I was gonna trust my gut through the process, no matter what. So it's like I'm even thankful for him in that way, having the courage to create something like that.
And I actually had Marcus on the show a few weeks ago, and we talked about that because I never, those challenges you see and stuff like that, I never kind of participated. But when I saw that, it was something that kind of resonated in me. Like, you know what, dude, you need to do that, because that's only going to hold yourself accountable for what you're getting yourself ready for. Moving forward, what is next on the agenda for Superior Forever Royal?
Well, on Halloween, October 31st is our 2-year anniversary.
Okay.
So I'm putting together something. I'm not going to reveal it just yet. But, I'm putting together a plan to, just continue on. Like, I'm continuing to grow. I'm continuing to, push the movement. Work with different creators. To help. Yes, because, I do it, from the designs to the, just the everything, So I am looking to collaborate with others to make this vision, really come to life, and to make it, bigger.
I understand.
I just want to continue to grow, I say every execution leads to a greater execution.
I understand.
So
I like that. I'm going to use that for something. I don't know for what, but I'm definitely going to use that for something. But when it's all said and done, what do you personally want to be remembered for?
I just want to be remembered for, being a true representation of what it means. I want people to be able to look at me and say, if she did it, I can do it. And it's just as simple as that, because, I'm pushing that, Superior is built off the principles you can do anything you put your mind to. And I believe that. Creating a brand like this, also, I have to hold myself accountable.
Right.
Like, I can't have a brand be superior and then I
not
live up to the quality, to the standard of it. So, I want to not only see the brand grow, but, I want to be a true representation. And not just for, the fashion, for everything that I decide to do. Whether, it's the DJing, when I finally, get into acting the way I want to be.
Right.
Like, whatever it is that you want to do, there's no limits, There's going to be hard work. There's going to be a lot of things that there's going to have to be a lot of personal growth.
Gotcha.
Just understanding all of that and, taking that in. It's like, okay, I can do the same thing. I just want people to be inspired by everything that I've done. And to, just motivate them to do the same.
I like that. And this is the very last question, I promise. if we had a group of young ladies that were in front of us and they wanted to somewhat embark on the same path that you went down, like what were some words of advice that you would give to them to kind of raise their spirits and get them prepared for what they're about to endure?
Going back to, what I said is like first understanding that, you can do anything that you put your mind to, whatever it may be. If you have a dream, don't ever let it die. Understand that things are not going to come when you want it to come. Sometimes I was just having a conversation with my mom, like I wanted to be a child star so bad, but sitting where I'm sitting now, I understand that I wouldn't have been ready. So understand, trusting your process, going through, it's just like, my advice to you is like, it'll all be okay. At the end of the day, it will all be okay. You can't, I think discouragement happens. You go through all of this, but it's how you bounce back. Never letting that keep you out. Have a good cry. I'm down for a good cry because, after a good cry, what's next?
You gotta make those moves.
You gotta make those moves. You gotta figure out what's next. Continue to keep going. Don't give up. I'm trying to remember I just heard this one quote and I don't remember, but basically it's just like, it's easier to give up. You give up and you'll never know what happened, but if you keep going, you still don't know what's gonna happen. So you might as well keep going for it.
I like that.
You're gonna give up and it's just gonna be like, all these what ifs.
Yeah.
But if you continue to go, there's no what ifs. Nope. You know exactly what's going on.
So not only do you guys need to trust your process, but continue to do what you guys are doing. So I want to thank DJ Koko Brown for coming on to the show. The Walker Review is still here with IK Studios. You guys stay tuned in. We have a lot more people to talk to and a lot more seeds to plant and insight to give. So you guys stay tuned with us.